I'm Peter Vaughan, and today I'm lucky enough to be filming at Hedingham Castle in Essex, a place with 900 years of history and open to private parties and weddings and that sort of thing. But today I'm not getting married, I'm driving a Voyageur, premium French A-Class from the Pilote Group, and the company is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, 40 years of building A-Class motorhomes. And this is the latest special edition to celebrate that anniversary. It's the LV 8.5 GJF. Now 8.5 tells you it's 8.5 metres long, 8.55 to be precise, and it's based on a Fiat Ducato tag axle Alco chassis, 5-ton gross weight. These vehicles normally start at about 112,000, but with a few options, most of which are accounted for by the special anniversary pack. That alone is 25 grand or so. This vehicle, as we see it here, is £141,000. But that puts it in competition with no end of top-end German models. So let's have a look at what makes a Voyageur different to all those. As part of the anniversary package, you get Fiat's top engine, 178 bhp, and I think it's 450 newton meters of torque, so plenty of power for such a big motorhome. You also get the 9-speed automatic gearbox as well. And as you can see, typical A-Class visibility forward, but as I said, better than some of its rivals. And this nice big sat-nav screen as well, chrome ring dials, leather steering wheel, separate screen for your reversing camera with different angles of visibility there. So a pretty comprehensive package. The Voyageur make much of the design of the front of the vehicle. It's certainly got quite an automotive appearance and a look of its own. Part of the reason for this design is to give you better visibility. They say that you can see the road and low objects closer to the front of the vehicle than in some A-Classes, and that seemed to be proven on the drive here. It certainly didn't feel as daunting as some A-Classes I've driven. However, I'm glad it wasn't raining, because the windscreen wipers are still set up in a left-hand drive pattern, which seems a shame at this price level. Nicely integrated automotive headlights. I think those are the original Fiat items. You've got the bus type mirrors, electrically operated of course, but more important than that is the domed shape of the roof. You can't really see that here, but there's a 13-degree curve to the roof, so water won't pool on top, it'll just flood off, saving any potential problems for water ingress. You've also got a lot of aluminium in the construction. They say that the floor, walls and roof are all connected by aluminium fixings, and again on the drive here there did seem to be a lot less rattling and creaking than I've experienced in even some very expensive A-Classes. Another feature is these locks, which you can see whether they're locked or not by whether the red piece is popping out and whether they're shut, because if they're properly shut you can't see that red section at the top. Now here and on the other side you've got access to the double floor storage that goes right the way across the vehicle, but you've also got the water installation on this side, as well as your Audi heating if you need to get to that for maintenance. Here, just in the same way as your mains lead is built in, your fresh water hose is built in as well. And if you can't get to a tap for any reason, just attach this and you can fill from a watering can or something. The garage is huge, with a width of nearly 1.1 metres and a height of just over 1.1 metres. You've got external shower here as well, and a full width LED strip light to make sure that you can see what you've stowed in there. There are tie down points at high and low level too, and the Aldi heating of course goes round the garage to keep everything toasty warm, and you've got 12 volt and 230 volt sockets in there as well. So this is the anniversary model. What do you get for your extra £25,300? Well, I haven't got the memory of an elephant, so I'm going to read it to you. We've got the 2.3 litre 180 Fiat calls it 178 bhp engine, 9-speed automatic gearbox, ESP with traction plus, Alco Air Premium rear axle air suspension. That probably accounts for the fact it does drive very, very well. It does feel very good on the road. These big tag axle vans always feel very stable, but this one does drive very well. And then you get 210 amp hour lithium ion battery, 1800 watt inverter, solar panel, Aldi heating, heat exchanger for that as well. Then you get the electric lengthways drop down bed, twin beds at the back with again an electric system which we'll come on to. You get this prestige leather upholstery, duckboard in the shower, clothes drying rack in the shower as well, ceramic toilet bowl, and a second cassette for your loo. So that's a useful thing if you're touring away from campsites, especially in the winter. Sometimes finding places to empty it just gives you a bit more freedom from facilities. Then you get the sat nav, 22-inch HD TV, the electric windscreen blind which comes down like a shop blind. That's a nice feature. Automatic satellite dish, speakers in the bedroom with an amplifier, the power cord that comes out from the van that I showed earlier, and the same on the hose. Then you get a full length awning with an LED strip light on it, electric drainage valve for the waste tank, and then a few extra bits on the 40th anniversary. You get this Dune furniture which I rather like, interior embroidery which I presume is these logos on the seats, some velvet cushions there in the bedroom, and a gift box. Now the gift box gives you a couple of black towels and a rather nice champagne cooler. Now I have to say this lounge is very comfortable, and there's plenty of room for inviting friends in. The table is sort of banqueting size once you've unfolded it, so 6 people around this table will be no problem at all, and it's nice and sturdy. There's some great attention to detail. One of the things that have changed on these Voyageurs this year is there's lots more black detailing, so these black seat bases, black tap, black splashback in the kitchen, that sort of thing. A lot more contrast. It looks really rather modern and very attractive. But coming down to detailing, look at this. They've even upholstered the table leg. How about that? I think that's quite a nice touch. And then if you want to sit back and relax, the captain's chairs go right round so you can put your feet up on the sofas if there's just the two of you. If there's more than two of you, these seats can be transformed into travel seats. It's not as easy as some, and you do have to store these big base and backrest cushions. They have to be lifted off completely, and the travel seats are hidden away underneath there, but they're probably best for either short journeys or for children, but because they're not the most padded of seats, but they do make this a practical 4-person vehicle on occasion. The kitchen has all the black highlights on this 2021 season model. As I mentioned earlier, things like these rails and the black panel here, black splashbacks, black tap as well, and little black highlights around the drawers. It's a nice area to work in because you've got this really deep counter giving you some preparation space in front of the hob, although the hob has only got 2 burners. Removable cover for the sink. You can use that as a little draining area if you wanted to, and it's a nice deep sink with a large drain hole just like at home. Then the kitchen drawers, well, they're locked centrally on a key, and there's even a warning buzzer if you forget to lock them before driving off. Good sized cutlery holder there, and then this one is a really deep unit, 2 bins, and room for 8 bottles of wine and a little storage area here as well. Oh, and there's even another drawer above that I nearly missed. Then alongside, because 8 bottles of wine of course isn't enough in a French van, you've got room for another 4. So you've got a nice round dozen bottles of wine. Where do you keep your foie gras? Well, of course, your tinned food goes in this extra slide out at eye level. On this one, as well as the 2-burner hob, you've got the optional duplex oven and grill, and it's nice to see that mounted down low and not, as in so many of the German vans, up above the fridge freezer where it's quite potentially dangerous getting hot food out from such a high level. The fridge freezer itself, of course, the latest Dometic type with the doors that open from either side. Separate fridge and freezer with a total capacity of 153 litres, and of course at this level of the market that is automatic energy selection. A sliding door separates the washroom from the main living area, and there are more sliding doors to close off the bedroom, so you have got a properly private ensuite area. Even the toilet door is just the toilet door. It doesn't open out to do anything else, so the toilet area is always private. It's a ceramic bowl loo as well, and the only downside, because it's quite a decent sized space, the only downside is that the toilet is a bit high, so unless you've got very, very long legs, you may find that a bit uncomfortable. You won't have any size issues with the shower, which is really domestic sized, and it's got a proper little shelf for all your shampoo and conditioner, all that sort of stuff. And when you're not actually showering, there's not 1 but 2 drying rails, so your towels and, well, that's as well as the towel rails, so wet clothes can hang in there all day to dry. Ideal for British weather, of course. Basin, well, it's one of these stylish bowl on a plinth jobs, and that means you've got plenty of worktop all around it. More of these black highlights that are a 2021 feature of Le Voyageur. And the mirror above the basin, well, that's lit up like a Hollywood starlet's, but more practically, inside you've got these nice upstands to stop all your toiletries tumbling out like an avalanche when you park up. Then over on this side, you've got his and hers wardrobes as well, one above the other, each with a shelf that you can remove if you want to use it as hanging space, or leave the shelf in and use it for folded clothes. Or you can even remove the central divide between the 2 wardrobes if you want to carry a ball gown or a wedding dress or something. Now, at first glance, this looks like a very conventional twin bed layout, as we've seen so many times before, but the beds are very good size. They're each 2 meters long, so that's a good start. You've got very posh looking Genet speakers in the corners, so nice plush touch. You've got these useful shelves on either side, each with double USB, so you can charge your phone while you're recharging your own batteries. You get these nice cushions with the little anniversary logo too, and it all looks very nice, doesn't it? But this motorhome has a secret as well, because this isn't just a twin bed layout. And of course, the other one slides across to meet it. So if you can't decide between a double bed layout and a single bed layout, why not have this Le Voyageur? You've got both. So now you've got a double bed that's over 2 meters long, and of course there's a ladder to give you access more easily than just leaping off the end of the bed. And that's not the only feature to like in this Le Voyageur's bedroom. Down here on the off side, you've got a couple of doors that give you access into a large locker that's also part of the garage. And then over on this side, you've got 2 super-sized drawers for all your folded clothes. And worried about sitting up and banging your head in bed? Well, fear not, because the head of the bed rises up on a ratchet system, and now I can sit very comfortably here. Will somebody bring me a bacon sandwich, do you think? Now, of course, I showed you earlier that this motorhome has 4 travel seats, so you need 4 berths to go with them. And again, the Voyageur does that in some style, because not only have you got a drop-down bed, but it's an electric one. Switch just above the habitation door. Now, it's a typical double bed size up there. Decent headroom, lights at either end, a little shelf with USB ports, so what more could you want? Well, of course, when you're sleeping transverse, there's always the access issue. Somebody's going to have to climb over the other one to get out of bed. Well, not here, because, fold that down, twist to catch, pull that to the rear, and then just add one. Now, there is a ladder for this bed, but who really needs it, because you can just hop up. Now, you've got a bed that's 1.98 metres long, that's 6'6" in old money, and I think it's 1.83 metres or over 6 foot wide. So effectively, 2 single beds, a triple bed for children, perhaps it's whatever you want it to be, but it's a huge bed. Really, it really is a huge bed. So, have Le Voyageur celebrated their 40th birthday in style? Well, I think they have. This motorhome isn't quite like the German vans, it has a Gallic feel of its own. And I like that, it's different. It's got some great features. The beds and the bathroom are perhaps the star quality. Who would fault a van that's got storage for 12 wine bottles? And, well, plenty of room for entertaining and dining around this massive table. Yes, it's not perfect. I'm disappointed that the windscreen wipers are still set up for left-hand drive on a right-hand drive vehicle. I'd like a little bit more suppression of the engine noise, but this motorhome does feel premium, it does feel special, and at £141,000 actually it looks quite good value, although that seems incredible to say with a price tag like that. But when you look at the kit that this vehicle has as standard, well, you'd probably pay more to spec up a German van to that level.